If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And I'll let the window open, baby. Leave our key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to be only for the night. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for the night. And I'll let the window open, baby. Leave our key outside the door.
Hey, it's Wednesday and we're back at it again. Whew, what a week. I tell you guys, a lot going on in media. We got a lot going on in some video game stuff. The Switch 2 still rocking and rolling. Apparently easy to get in the stores. And yeah, I don't know. I even went to a game show, a video game show this weekend that only had one table of video games in it. It's almost all comics and vinyl. So, kind of interesting. So, yeah, so what do we have up here today? So, if you're new to the show and you haven't watched it before, the whole premise of the show is that I sell on eBay used video games, generally vintage stuff, mainly late 80s, early 90s, but I do dabble into some of the Switch and Xbox One, some other weird things too, right? But that is the general focus of the show. And what happens is I list them to start at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time while we're watching the show. So basically, 14 minutes from now, they start popping up for next week. But the previous week starts ending at 1 p.m. Central Time. And we watch the auctions end live on the show. Or if you're watching it as a recording, then you're watching it as a recording. And you can see what ends up happening. Now, there is obviously a 30-second delay. So what's happening when you see it on the show, if you're watching it live, is technically 30 seconds behind. And it already happened. So this is kind of interesting. Why do we watch the auctions end? Because video games, unlike a lot of other things, they get a lot of snipes. And snipes happen, what I say is in the last 20 seconds of the auction ending. And I'm hoping for some snipes this week. The last 2 weeks in a row, my buddy Nate's been really happy because there's one video we play when we have a snipe fail and this poor child dies. So we just don't want him to die anymore. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But most importantly, we got to thank our sponsor, Mr. Nissan. There you go, folks. Thank you so much for all that you do for us. And what are we drinking today for the show? We have Castle Danger Sea Salt Lime Lager. Look at that. Now, if there's a candy beer out there, this is probably one of them. This stuff tastes pretty good, I'm not going to lie. Sea salt and lime. Well, let's open her up. Give her a little crack, huh? Hey, thanks for the shirt. Cake. Look at that. Woo! So I recently went to the Cake concert here in Mankato. My buddy Tito came along too, and we also had our sponsor, Mr. Nissan, there. And Tito went and stood in line for like a half hour to get some shirts and some collectible things, you know, you get at the shops. Like you should do at a concert, right? But I'm a little cheaper, and I'm like, I'm just going to order a shirt off, I think, was it eBay? Did I end up ordering these on eBay? I may have ordered them on eBay, right from my chair. So I took my phone out, ordered the shirts. Hey, I bought shirts at the concert. There you go. So actually, it's pretty good quality. Didn't shrink too bad. Kind of big on me yet, but I'm kind of a big guy half the time here. So what are you going to do? But here, cheers, guys. Yeah, that actually isn't too bad. It's got a nice, refreshing taste to it. It's pretty thirsty. I walked 4.3 miles, and it was pretty hot this morning. And I really was pushing it because I was trying to catch up, or I was racing this lady. She was pushing a stroller, but she was jogging. But I kept catching up to her, and she was jogging, and I was walking. So, go figs, right? It does taste pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. All right, the holiday week, it's coming up. Hope you guys all have big plans for your 4th of July. I know that I am going up north to the cabin, so that should be exciting, but we're not going to leave till Friday morning, and we'll come back on Monday, so it's not so bad. All right, well, why don't we take a quick look on what auctions are going to be ending during the show today. Our first auction that will be ending is this Fantasy Zone The Maze, complete in box for the Sega Master System. That's sitting at $4.75. What a deal. That's complete in box. Even has the poster, which my brother knows that Sega Master System posters cause car accidents. So that's how that works. Then we also have The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. This game is so popular they made it for the Switch from the original Game Boy. That's kind of cool. So that's sitting at $26.50. Then we got Cloudmaster sitting at a ridiculously low $1.25 for the Master System. And we're selling Amazon Prime Remastered yet again because we had a deadbeat buyer. Wah, wah, wah. R-Type for the Sega Master System. Fantastic shooter. $19. We have this amazing device here that lets you play Sega Master System games and a Sega Game Gear. That's sitting at $1.25. Then we got the Ghostbusters for the Master System, sitting at $6.50. I shot a video of that game. I played the whole way through. It's like an hour and 20 minutes long. It's great if you need a good nap. Then we have this original joystick for the Master System, which I call it the left-hand special because the joystick is played with your right hand and the buttons are to the left of the controller. The Monopoly, and not Ghostbusters. I didn't play Ghostbusters for an hour. I played Monopoly. I think I said Monopoly in this Ghostbusters. Monopoly, that's what I played for an hour and 20 minutes. 99 cents it's sitting at. Only 2 watchers. We're getting kind of skunked on the Master System games this week, aren't we? Good thing we got a lot of big system sales going on. So here we have the Sega Master System console with gun and 2 games sitting at $91. We have Shinobi for the Master System sitting at $7.50. We have a Sega Genesis console sitting at a very low to me, $26. And it comes with Super Monica GP. I remember when Tito bought that game. Then we have the Sega Genesis Mini 2, brand new in box still. It's at $146.05. And last but not least, we're selling off the TurboGrafx 16 because this is the last game I have for it. And I'm trying to clear up space. So there goes the TurboGrafx 16, my only copy of one. Been trusted and true game testing device. It's always worked without any issue. So that's really good. Look at that. TurboGrafx 16. While we're on this, let's look at what's scheduled to pop while we're on the show today. We have a Nintendo Entertainment System going up. We have the Punisher for the NES. We have another Sega Genesis, but it's a version 2. It's a smaller one. That comes with NBA Jam. We have a lot of 5 Xbox One games. It's got Call of Duty, The Division, Destiny 1, Destiny 2, and NHL 15. Then we got Formula 1 Built to Win. Pretty rare Nintendo game. It's got gambling in it, believe it or not. Wizards and Warriors 3. A lot of jumping. Super Mario Brothers 2. My personal least favorite of the series, but it's some people's favorite of the series. So, controversial game there. We have this lot of Xbox One games. It's got the Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Metro Redux. They're both brand new and sealed. We got Toobin' for the NES. We have a lot of 8 games, including, but not limited to, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, WWF, Mach Rider, and Kung Fu. We got Battletoads. We got 1942, an arcade classic. Shinobi for the NES, which I don't think is as good as the Master System one, to be honest. Maniac Mansion. That's a Lucasfilms game. Or is it Lucas Arts back then? Lucasfilms Arts. I think it might be Arts. Lucas Arts. Still Lucas, whatever. Kind of a point and click game for the NES, but very Monkey Island like. Then we have an OME 6-button that has the turbos in slow motion in it. They didn't make many of these, so it's called the MK1470 controller for the Sega Genesis. We have Life Force for the Nintendo. That's a sequel to Gradius. And then last but not least, we have Xenoblade Chronicles for the Nintendo Switch. You know, that's not a bad lineup when you think about it. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. Let's get a first look at our. Before we look at our first two auctions, let's talk a little bit about feedback for the week, shall we? Oop, I'm clicking on the wrong things here. So we did get some feedback this week, which we are always entertained by, good or bad, right? So I got the feedback back on those missed shipments I did. The person who got their package late actually sent it back to me saying, great items, packed in incredible care. Seller communication was amazing. Very pleased with purchase and seller. Highly recommended. Thank you. You know what? I thank you because I shipped this package to this guy, and I thank this guy for shipping it to that person. What a mess. But you know what? All worked out in the end. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Here is one for the Nintendo Switch Fire Emblem Warriors. Came as described, packaged securely, and was brand new. Shipped pretty promptly. Well, you paid me after the post office closed and I shipped it the next morning. But anyway, pretty promptly. And a good value for the game. Was factory sealed. Was a good shipping price for the way it was packaged. Well, thank you. Then we got the Contra game. Great game. Fast shipping. Thanks. Again, there's that one for the Sega Master System where the person was very happy. Here is a Game Gear game, The Simpsons, nice deal. Castlevania for NES, amazing product, good price. And just a little bit ago, we got the Super Mario Maker, great experience, fast service, item works as expected. Whew, that's a lot of words. So I did get a return request for Bubble Bobble yesterday. And I'm honoring the return request, but little disappointed in it because he's claiming the game's not working. And I shoot a testing video for every game that I say is tested. And there is a video of me playing that game that was in the description. And I sent it to him too, but I am taking the return. I'm paying shipping both ways. Lovely. Yeah, that's too bad. He said he tried it on two Nintendo, so maybe the game's extra finicky. I know I'm usually using an old Nintendo when I'm doing this, and I have to mess with the games to get them to work. And maybe he just didn't have the touch I have. I don't know. So I'll investigate the game further after I get it, but I am refunding him his money. So what do you do, right? It's what you do is what you do. All right, let's get into the first two auctions. We have 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go on these two yet. We're at $26.50 for the Zelda for Game Boy. And for Fantasy Zone for the Master System, we're at $4.75. So yeah, no, it's it is interesting though, because I still have a lot of Nintendo games to sell. And they're probably the hardest games to test because we're talking about 40-year-old games. Think about that. 40-year-old. I know that because when I was packaging up the Nintendo and taking pictures of it, its copyright is 1985. So that's 40 years ago. And my testing Nintendo this week, I ended up buying a new 72-pin set for it because I've been having so much trouble with my testing Nintendo. And when I'm shooting a video of me fighting a blinking screen and stuff, that's not what people really want to watch, right? Well, maybe some do. Could become a good drinking game. If the game doesn't work, do you take a sip? I don't know. But regardless, so I put the new pin set in, and it worked great, but it put like the death grip. I almost needed pliers to get the games out. So I was reading about that, and they said, the third-party 72-pin sets are kind of crap. And I took it off, and it got destroyed taking it off. So I watched another video about how you can take your existing pin set, and you take a needle, and you pull every one of the pins down. And let me tell you, that worked like a charm. It did. And you can see in my testing videos, now, sometimes I had a couple of tries on it. But for the most part, the game's booted right up. So, I highly recommend, if you're fighting with a Nintendo out there, to get a needle, watch a video on YouTube, and fix your NESs. Hey, look at that. The Maze game just went up from $4.75 up to $8.50. Oof. Now we're talking. Hopefully that's a sign that the Master System games will pick up a little bit here. They're sitting awfully low to ship those out individually, but we'll see how it goes. but we'll see. Mm. It is pretty refreshing. So with only 14 auctions today, this show basically is going to end in like 16 minutes. So we don't have that much more time to go. I do appreciate you sticking around and watching, especially the ones watching live. I know that it's just something to do, right? Something to do. All right, we're getting close to snipe time. Again, the definition of a snipe is a bid that comes within the last 20 seconds, and we're at 28 seconds now. And these both end at the same time, as you might be able to see or not if you're not watching a screen. But here we go, 20 seconds. Zelda, it just moved up $1. We got a snipe of $1 already. $27.50, and Fantasy Zone is at $8.50, where we don't have to watch the boy fall off a cliff because of $1 at least. 10 seconds ago, $27.50, $8.50. 7 seconds, no movement. 5 seconds, $27.50, $8.50. 2 seconds, 1 0. Oh, we got another one. Went from $8.50 to $11 on Fantasy Zone. So we got a couple snipes there. That was pretty good. Here, let's just give this one 4th of July. And that's sniping, folks. You know what? We picked up, it was like $4.75, right? So we picked up 6 1/4 plus another $7.25. Yeah, you know, that could have been worse overall. Cloudmaster started the show at $1.25. It's still sitting at $1.25. We'll see what ends up happening here. And then we have the Metroid Prime Remastered, new and sealed, sitting at $31. Look at that. Rated teen. What does teen mean? I mean, is it like literally 13 and up? I don't even know anymore. Ratings on things. We get so obsessed with seeing violence, but anything else is just fine, right? Who knows? It is what it is, and it is and it is. Let's see here. So, $1.25 for the Cloudmaster and $31 for the Metroid. But no, I am happy with the Nintendo since I did the pin trick. It grabs the games harder, if that makes sense. And it should be good. It should be really good. For the 4th of July, I think I mentioned that we're going up north to the lake cabin. Cousin Craig mentioned that we should swing over to his place, maybe like part of the last day. We'll see how things go, because we're planning on erecting a shed at the lake. Now, granted, it's a plastic shed. It's a bigger plastic shed, but we're building a base for it. And I don't know if the weather, it looks like rain Saturday quite a bit, so we'll see how this all ends up. But we're going to get it done one way or the other. Might be working in the rain. Doesn't that sound like fun? Build the base in the garage maybe and carry it down there? I don't know. That'd get kind of heavy. The treated plywood is not light. Not light at all. Not as light as this Cloudmaster sitting at $1.25. No, it's a solid game. It's not a bad shooter. It's actually... If I were to say 5 games that I played the most on the Sega Master System, Cloudmaster might be in the top 5. I always enjoyed that game. It was hard. Like, I'd beat the cock, and I get to the next level, I never get that far, but for some reason, it was just satisfying. I just always like shooters, I guess. All right, 20 seconds. We're in snipe time. $1.25 for Cloudmaster and $31 for Metroid Prime. We got 13 seconds, no movement yet. 10 seconds, still at $1.25 and $31. We're at $1.25 and $31 with 5 seconds to go. Are we going to get a snipe? Are we? Oh, we got a little $2 snipe on the Metroid. Woo, $2. Hey, it's something, right? We'll see. What would you call a good one for that? How about that?
Wow!
Yes. Wow. Picked up 2 more bucks. We'll see how this goes, guys. It's funny because I think the first time Metroid Prime sold, when they had the Deadbeat Buyer, went for $32, so I picked up an extra $1. How about that? All right, we got R-Type, $19. And this converter, this thing's so weird. Oh, it went from $1.25 to $5.50 since the show has started. That's good news, folks. I would say that's really good news. This is kind of a sleeper in there, you know, like for the Game Gear collector. It's a must-have. I don't know how many of these they really made, but it works really well. I was playing R-Type, ironically, on this. I think in the video even. And, yeah, I just popped in and worked right away. And now the Game Gear screen is not the most desirable thing on the face of the earth. There's no doubt about that. But it really increases the Game Gear's library by adding essentially the whole Master System collection. You can play Phantasy Star on the go on your Game Gear. That would be something. Imagine how many sets of batteries you'd go through if you beat the game just on batteries. But who knows? That's pretty good. All right, we're at 1 minute and 25 seconds. We got a little bit of time here yet. My Nintendo Switch that I was looking to replace the battery that I was having charging problems with. And I've talked about it, and I've tried charging it on the show here every now and then. And it did take that full charge, like I said last week. And I actually played a game on the battery for a while. I was playing Super Mario Galaxy on it. And I bet I played for about 20, 25 minutes, and it went down to about 85%. So I think that's about right. So how about that? It's working again. So now that I've rejuvenated the battery and stuff, that might end up going up for sale here. I had kind of started a mod on it, but I pulled back because I got confused. And so I reset everything on it, and it seems like I put a new account on it, and I didn't get any red flags or anything, I don't think. But I haven't tried to play online per se, but I think I'm okay. Who knows? So the last thing is you want is get anybody in trouble, right? All right, we're getting down to snipe time here. And sniping begins now, 20 seconds. R-Type sitting at $19, and we got the Game Gear converter at $5.50. 13 seconds, no movement, still 19 and $5.50. 10 seconds, still the same thing. We're inching it down here to the 5-second mark, $19.50. Oh, we got a little one, $7.50 in the Game Gear. And they ended. Oh, it went up another $1. So we picked up $3 more on the Game Gear. Wow. Extra beers at Big Dog are already flowing into my mouth.
The shots came from the rooftop. A sniper. A good one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Well, I wouldn't say it was really good, but, you know, it was something, right? Ghostbusters started the show at $6.50, still at $6.50. And we got the weird joystick for the Master System at $3.25. Look at all these low-dollar auctions we got up here. I know I'm not selling as many Elite things anymore for individual games, but I still have a couple I'm holding on to for some big auctions coming up. But yeah, you got to kind of get through the rigmarole, if that makes sense, and sell the stuff that doesn't necessarily go for $200 a game like we used to get sometimes, especially in some of those 3DO games. And remember the what was it? Game Boy, I think our Game Boy Advance games I had still in box. Or were they? No, Game Gear still in box. Some of those jumped way up at the end. That was kind of fun. And I bought that lot of, was it 89 Game Gear games and sold them all individually on here. And that was kind of fun too, actually. Can't complain anyway. But who knows? Ghostbusters. I don't know ghosts. Yeah, I don't know. What do you do? That's some good beer though. Not gonna lie. Oh, I didn't send Mike my link for the week. So Michael, my friend, he is looking into starting up doing some eBay. So I don't know if you're on, Michael. Speak up if you are. Forgot to send you the link ahead of time, but it is always at the same time every week. So anyway, he is looking into buying and selling things up on eBay. I'm working with his wife, and he lives down in Kansas, and I think it's Kansas or near Kansas anyway. And he looking at buying like a big pole barn type thing and housing all the stuff he's going to buy and resell and do a lot of it on eBay. So I hope that all works out for him, and it'd be a kind of a fun endeavor. He has the property for it. Why not go for it? All right, snipe time, 20 seconds. Ghostbusters, $6.50. Oh, we got a little movement there on the joystick. There's some more. $4.25 it's at now. Going up 50 cents or so. Woo! 7 seconds, $6.50, $4.25. $6.50, $4.25. We're talking pennies here, folks. 650, 425. That's what we get. We got wow. That was pretty exciting, right? What should we do for a snipe thing? I'm gonna do my brother's favorite. Yes, that was exciting, wasn't it? Oh, I better put this back on, otherwise people can't see what I'm doing, right? All right, let's move on. We got Monopoly. Oh, it went up to $1.25. Woo! And then we have the Sega Master System. Well, it's up to 110. That's gone up $19 since the show has started. Now, I was just talking to my neighbor about this, and he sells a lot of stuff on eBay, including some gaming stuff, but mainly like collectible toys. And he was unaware of this. And I hope people are. I mentioned the videos. I think I even type it down into the description. Let's see here. Where would that be? I'm kind of confused. Huh? Okay. Test to work. Read more. Power cord. No. Please fine. Gun still works fine. Read less. So I didn't necessarily mention this one, but it's how the product functions. You do know you cannot use a light gun on an HD TV. It has to be on a tube TV. I know I mentioned it in the testing video, but I usually do. Oh, we just got another. Look at that. $12.50 more. Light guns do not work with HD TVs. I thought that was kind of common knowledge, but not everybody seems to know that. So we'll see what happens here. Hopefully they watch the video. Hopefully they just know. I think if you're a game collector, you know that your light gun doesn't work with HD TV. You got to use a tube TV. It's the way the light gun sees the television set and the way that they just work. This is the same guy bidding on both of these things. Look at that. Joe, he's got 0% feedback. Lovely, huh? He's the winner on both of them. So we'll see what happens here. Hope I have enough space in that box to put more things in it. In the Master System, when I box that thing pretty tight, I think. We'll see. All right, we're getting in the snipe land here in 2 seconds. See if you get any more movement. 20 seconds. $1.25 for Monopoly. $122.50 for the Master System itself. 125, 122.50. 10 seconds to go. 125, 122.50. 5 seconds. 125, 122.50, and we're done. And I didn't see any. Oh, we did get a snipe of $1. Went up. That guy didn't get it with him. This guy's probably pissed over here. He got sniped out. Ah, that's funny.
Wow!
Yes. Wow, we got $1. Oh, it went up quite a bit though at the end there. All right, I got Shinobi sitting at $8.50. And we got the Sega Genesis at $26. It's still sitting at $26. Look at that. Looking at the current high bidders. Kingpin. I think he's bought from me before. That name seems familiar on here. Fantastic movie, really, too, Kingpin. What do you do? But yeah, so it's all pretty exciting. My Golden Tee project keeps evolving in the garage, and we had a total of 2 Golden Tee nights now at the neighbors, I think. And I've gotten now on there 3 versions of Golden Tee. I think I have 2007, 2009, 2010, and then I have Putt Putt golf game 2012, 2013, and then I have Silver Strike on there, and then I also have the Lawn Dart / Beanbag game on there too. And I made a nice GUI up front, so when you power it on, it goes straight into Launch Box, Big Box, and everything is controllable right from there. You can pick the games. You can even exit the games from the controls without using a keyboard or mouse, and go start up another one too. So we have a true hat ball in there now too, and everything is kind of singing. It really, really works nice. And we've had quite a bit of fun playing it already. Problem is when you play some of those really hard courses, like we did, what was that? Saturday night, I think. Was it Saturday night? Friday night. I can't remember which night it was. It took us over an hour and a half for a 4-player game. So it can take a little while. And you end up getting kind of late nights. Well, I hope that Genesis goes for more than $26. Jeez, that's a bargain. What is the shipping showing? Is it just really high? I can't see it. Why don't I see it? We're going to go to Snipeland. Oh, 1180. That ain't bad. We're in Snipeland anyway. 850, 15 seconds ago, Shinobi. $26 for the Sega Genesis. 16 watchers though. 10 seconds ago, 850 and 26. 6 seconds ago, 850 and 26. 3, 2, 1. Oh, $31. $5 snipe on the Sega Genesis. Look at that. We better give us a little something for that, right? 4th of July again. Isn't that exciting? All right, are we winding down to the final two? Oh, boy, these are big boys. We got the Sega Genesis Mini sitting at $148.55. That's gone up a little bit. And then the TurboGrafx 16 was at $102, and it's at $122.50. These are some of our heavy hitters for the finale. We got 2 minutes and 17 seconds to go. Man. So yeah, I went to a toy slash video game slash vinyl comic, I don't know, show at our main mall in town on Saturday morning. And yeah, it was mainly a walk by at a pretty high clip and just looking. Only one table had video games on it, and they did have some cool stuff, but they were asking a lot. They had the Punisher for Sega Genesis in box. I don't know if they had the book. I didn't open it, but it was $300. That's probably what I could get about on eBay for it. Maybe, if I was lucky. So there's no point in trying to buy something and pay eBay 15% to sell it. So, anyway, there was that, and ran into my neighbor there, and he actually went through the whole thing and ended up buying something at GameStop. I did circle into Target and just to see what they had for Nintendo Switch 2s, and they didn't have any in stock that I could see. They did have the controllers and some games, I think, but kind of neat though. The Switch 2 is intriguing, but they got to make a game that I'm dying to play in order to get one. All right, we're under a minute, guys. Getting close here, but yeah, I wouldn't mind finding some more things to replenish with. You know, the stock market's doing well. It's you erased whatever deficit was in there, and it keeps climbing, so it's good. And it looks like P. Diddy might be walking out of jail today. I didn't see that one coming, but good for him, I guess. The juror, just kind of found him on a couple of things, which he's already served almost a whole year technically. So I don't think there's going to be all that much. I think he's going to get bailed out. All right, we're moving in the snipe time. 20 seconds now. 148.55 for the Sega Genesis Mini and 122.50 for the TurboGrafx 16. All right, no movement. 148.55, 10 seconds ago, 122.50. And we got 7 seconds. 148.55, 122.50, 148.55, 122.50, and it just ends, and that's how it ends. Nate, you got to be one happy, happy clam. Now that's what I call a finale. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that you have a fantastic day. And be safe on the 4th. Don't blow a finger off or an eye or something. All right? Take care.